Hello friends, it's Kayla. Welcome to another episode in the designing book covers series and then reacting to the actual covers of the books that I am predicting the covers for. The date is February 15th and I think these should all be revealed like by summertime. We're gonna do mostly sequels because that's as far as I think my creativity can take us today. First up, I'm going to see what I think the third book in the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies installment is going to look like. I also have to title it, which is going to be fun. We have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. It has a black background. Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands has a green background, so I think I'm going to go blue. I still think it needs to be cohesive, like all of these colors kind of match. And as much as I want to take red and do a red background, I just don't know that they will go that bold with it. So I'm going to keep it this deep, like, I don't know, violet periwinkle color. Next up, another purpley cover. We have Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the first book in a trilogy. Emily Wilde's supposed to be a trilogy as well. This one, she's on contract for 3, but you know, there are 7 people in the 7 Deadly Sins, so should they all get a book? Kingdom of the Wicked didn't. But it's also a spin-off of a YA series that I didn't read, so maybe they're all kind of featured in there. Anyway, Throne of the Fallen featured Prince Envy. That's where the green is referencing Envy. And then this is Wisteria to represent our other main character, Camilla. They are in House Envy, so the key represents that. In the next book, it's going to be Gluttony as our character and House Gluttony. I think it's still going to be a key. I think it's going to be stuff in the background. His love interest in that book is supposed to be a journalist reporter. I don't even think we know her name. But so as much as I want to just throw on flowers and put another key with a gem, probably orange to represent gluttony, a carnelian, a citrine. I think I need to change the color of the key to silver so that can really pop. But then if I just put something to represent a reporter, like I'm thinking newspaper, and then the whole thing's just gonna be gray. So I'm trying to figure out where the color is gonna come from. Maybe I'll just do a plant, but the plant specifically is for Camilla in the first book, and also it looks like a painting because she is an artist. So I want to put something to represent a reporter, but I guess I'll just figure that out as I go. And lastly, for a sequel of a book series I have not read, but maybe I will by the time this video comes out. The first book is called The X-Hex. The second one was called The Kiss Curse. And the third one is called The Wedding Witch. And I think they all follow different people, and it's paranormal, romance, light, fun stuff, because the first book was blue with a little bit of yellow and the second one was purple and pink. I want to go pink, but I've seen a lot of wedding books that go red, and so I think I might go red. There's like people, they're in a sun or a moon. I think I could pull something off with this. So that's what I'll be up to. Let's start from the beginning again. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I think I need to figure out the title first, because these are titled encyclopedia and map, so they exist as things that our professor, Emily Wilde, is creating for somebody to read, to enjoy, to learn from. So words that come to mind for me are diary and journal, but I think that might be too similar to encyclopedia. And then I'm thinking of words like atlas, guide, coordinates, puzzle. I do like guide, Emily Wilde's guide to something. We also have to figure out how the title's gonna flow together, because it's kind of like when you name a person, first and middle name needs to like flow the way that Lillian Rose sounds better than Claire Rose, because it's just 1 syllable each, when 3 syllables and then 1 syllable, or 3 syllables paired with 2 syllables just sounds better melodically. So this one, Encyclopedia of Fairies, is 6 and 2, and Map of the Other Lands is 1 and 3. Also, I was thinking this one is fairies, this one is other lands. So we've covered person and place, and we could do thing. For example, magic. Magic is a thing, an idea, so it could be Emily Wilde's Guide to Magic. Like, that's too simple, but I think something like that. Emily Wilde's directory, Emily Wilde's record of something, Emily Wilde's chronicle. If I just say every word I could possibly think of, one of them is going to be correct. I like key, so like Emily Wilde's key to the something, or Emily Wilde's almanac, since this is set, when is this set? The 1900s. Almanac kind of fits that vibe, I think. Also, compendium could work. Emily Wilde's compendium of something. So I'll keep considering all of that while I do the design. I'm just realizing that both of the titles are the same colors, so maybe it won't pop as much on the background, and I will want to go with red or orange. I think it still needs to be deep though, because then that leaves the possibility of like special editions to be brighter and more colorful. So I am committing to this purpley blue. I pulled over the like Emily Wilde and author name from the other books. I'm gonna blend it in as best as I can and then put in just like a, you know, fake kind of title for now before I commit to something, so I can just figure out the design. I'm starting with all of the things that are typical on both of the covers. So there's this white border around it. The jacket designer for both the other covers is Vera Dermanovsky, and their website is so beautiful, and you can see where the cover started from, how they evolved different concepts. It's so pretty to look at, and obviously everything here is hand drawn, the font, everything. So nothing that I pull from stock image websites is going to like equal this in any capacity. I'm obviously changing it from saying book 2 to book 3. I don't know if all of these little details are particularly interesting. And now I need to create my own colorway because they are different, but they have things in common. They both have blues, greens, and there's one distinct red or orange. So I've come up with my own, and I've swapped in a pink because I want it to be a little springier. I copied the mushrooms over, but eventually I am going to get rid of the snow on them because I realized as I put this together that I have really leaned into spring. Both covers have a lot of just like swirly plant-like imagery. So I grabbed vines, a lot of stock images trying to figure it out. And the flowers on here have a lot of intricate detail. So I took some stock ones and then added my own like black and white accents to kind of mimic the inky style of especially the first book. Then of course this is a hand-drawn font, not one I can just download for free, but I put it into a generator to find one that was similar, and I threw it in just as like a holder piece. Looking at the layout of the title, the first one is both words straight across. The second one, maybe because the second word is longer, it arches up, and so I wanted to bring that into mind because I also think I'm gonna have a longer title. So I'm gonna have the first word swoop and the second one straight across, so it's not like completely matching. I have a couple placeholder words in there. Those are going to change throughout this design process. And on the other covers, you can see that the first letter is like beautiful and intricate, a little more detailed, and has a design behind it. So I'm going to replicate that eventually. Then I found this stock image that is vines and strawberries, and I thought that would be such a cute design. So I changed the colors of it and I popped it in the corners, and then I've replaced some pieces with the flowers that I already pulled. And then I'm making it look like the vines are wrapping around the border just to make it have a little more depth. I also add some black outlines later on. I found some other vines, put those at the bottom. And then the first book has this design in the middle, these vines crisscrossing across the underneath the title. The second one doesn't so much, but I do have a big blank space unless I decide to go with a 2-word title. So I plopped that in there for now, and then I'm adding what I think I like for behind that first letter. It also has these hands. If you can see the white hands on this one, the black hands on this one, creeping from the vines, that gives it a little more of an ominous vibe. Mine is looking a little too cheery, so to match the other ones, I'm just gonna pull the hand over. I tried a couple different colors, and I just ended up settling on black. Then I was looking at the snowflake and the snow on the mountains, and realizing that mine is way too springy to add any more snow in. So I just committed to the brighter, happy vibes and got rid of any idea of winter. Obviously, if I was designer and doing this from scratch, I wouldn't just be like covering over something else. I would be pulling original artwork, but I think you see the journey that I'm on. Now I'm just adding some more details to the vines. Again, depth. And this is my placeholder for now because I realized I want to read the second book and try to figure out where I think the third book is going to take place before I commit to like a title and any other design features. So we're pausing here, and in about a month when I read the second book, I will come back to you. I'm checking in a month later because I haven't committed to a final vibe for this, and I wanted to wait until I finished the second book so I could get an idea of some of the storylines and some things that I could add to the cover. I've now finished it, and during the live show, because I read this for my besties book club, somebody said that the title has already been revealed. So I haven't seen it and I need to commit to something. So first of all, I'm gonna throw a cat on the cover because there was a cat in the second book. So I'm finding a place for him and adding some detail so he matches. Then there were ribbons mentioned in the second book, and though I think that storyline is not continuing, I love the idea of these ribbons tied in the trees, and the bows felt very coquette. And then because of like the royalty I think will be featured in the third book, I'm adding a crown at the top to finish it off. I do feel very confident that the second book is going to almost exclusively take place in, oh, I don't want to spoil anything from the books, in a realm, in a specific kingdom that we learned about. And the name of that kingdom, I kind of want to put in the title, but it's also something so specific that if you just saw this on the shelf and you hadn't read the other books in the series, it wouldn't mean anything. It wouldn't like grab your attention. And I know the word fairies was in the first book, but I want to put courtly fae into the final book. It's got to be something about the court or the fae or folk. And I think the word I want to use, I wrote down some more. I have catalog, archive, dossier, handbook, record index. I think it's going to be about learning about the fae from this certain kingdom, and it's about Emily meeting and getting to know various individuals in this realm. So I want to call it, I don't even know how to pronounce this word. I saw it on a list of like other, synonyms for indexes or record book. Memorandum, but I don't know if it's like too weird. But I also think compendium is equally weird, but I'm trying to think of something that is like whimsical and smart at the same time. And I don't think memorandum or compendium are that. I think vowels do that. I said this before about names in books, that it's like Olivia's and Elise and Eloise and Emily that sound so like whimsical. It's vowels, like Otherland's Encyclopedia. But I don't have anything like that except for index and archive, but those aren't whimsical enough. I might stick with almanac. No, I'm gonna call it Emily Wilde's Compendium of the Courtly Fae. The double C's also I don't like. Maybe the word kingdom could also be in there. Whatever, that's what I'm calling it. And I get to find out now what it's called. I think somebody said they really liked the title, and then somebody said they didn't like the title. So, wait, what the fuck? It's compendium. It's compendium. And nobody can even say that I cheated, because that was one of my, please tell me that was one of my original guesses in the original clip. I didn't even see what else it was. Compendium of Lost Tales. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I do like that. And I was just talking about in the live show how there needs to be an entire book with all of the little short stories that are in these collections. The first book had so many little stories and little histories outside of like the footnotes that also exist in it. Like there were these chunks of storytelling, and there wasn't very much in this one. And I was wondering if the third book would have more. And it seems as though Lost Tales implies it will. I like Lost Tales. I think it's not as whimsical as I would expect. Wait, I can't believe the final one I guessed was right. Oh my God, I love that. I can't wait to see the cover. I hope it's blue. I hope there's a cat. I even signed up for this author's newsletter, and that's not where it was revealed. I opened up my phone, April 26th. First thing in my feed, Del Rey posted the Emily Wilde cover. I scrolled past it as fast as I could, but I did see that it's there, and I saw that it was blue. So let's dive in. Okay, it's coming out February, where should I put you? 2025. It's blue. My blue is a little like dustier. This one's a little more vibrant. I like it. I love the like lilac-y pink title. I put pink, but in the flowers. Or actually, I need to stand here so you can see both of them at the same time. Okay, there's a cat. Oh my God, there's a black cat in the sea. So, hooray for me. Bees. Oh my God, there are bees everywhere. Bees are like such a part of my life, my fashion, the books that I read. How did I not put bees? There's a lot of eyeballs. which I don't. Oh my God, there's a snail. There's a bobbin and thread and needles, which is interesting. The mushrooms are at the bottom. There's a little like black hands that are the typical vibe. There are trees and roots around it, which is so pretty. I don't feel like these are very, like, obviously the style is cohesive, but they are all very different to me. I don't know if you would agree. I feel like they get more like cartoonish, more, I don't want to say childlike, but that's what I'm going to say, over time. Hey, and I got the angle correct. Like compendium is the longer word, so it's the thing that's moving. So it's not like identical to the second book. It's obviously just like so much better than mine. So I don't really like to compare them. It's just so pretty. The snail. I love the snail. Is there anything else to note? It doesn't have like a lot of the things that I put in mine, ribbons and like the kingdom kind of element. It's the bees. It took the bees as the main reference. I like the amount of like creatures on it. Anyway, I'll see you later. Oh my God, see my bee. Okay. Let's move on to Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco, or Throne of Secrets. Maybe I should also predict book 3's title, Throne of what? Let's consider that while we figure out the jacket design. By Greg Kulik. The art is from Getty Images. Okay, maybe I can find, they're all from Getty Images? Let's see if I can find a similar key and throw that on. There's fire on here, and I don't know if fire specifically feels appropriate for this character in this book, or if fire is going to be a theme throughout all of the covers. Also, there's this little thing up here that says deception is the most wicked game of all. So I obviously need to come up with my own for the next one. The reason I feel good about it being a key is because each book and each demon like has their own house. House of Pride, House of Envy, House of Gluttony. The next one I think is going to be featuring Pride and Victoria. But there also is part of me that wants to put a dagger on the front, and maybe each book will have a different item. Another option for background stuff could be food, because naturally gluttony is associated with overconsumption of food. In this book, it's going to be more about overindulging in other ways. Wink, wink. It's a kind of smutty series. Finding a similar font should not be difficult. I'm going to change the color of it though, because so much of mine is going to be gray. Indeed, I did not have an easy time finding the font, so I just traced, as I normally do, the original and then kind of made my own font from there just because it was easier. Every single font I found, something was slightly different, and it was bothering me a lot more than it should. So here is my final title of Throne of Secrets. I went through a lot of ideas with this. I really wanted the paper, and as soon as I pulled in any ideas with paper on fire, trying to make something happen, I didn't like any of it. So I immediately switched to flowers. I just found a designer that I liked who had a lot of options, and I downloaded a ton of different flowers. Because I wanted that orange to be in the key, I decided to go with a contrasting or complementary colorway. So blues and purples and greens made the most sense. Also, if you take a look at the designs of this author's other series, the range of colors feels similar to what could happen in this series. There's always like a bluish turquoise moment, so it felt reasonable. Then, because I pivoted away from the paper and went with the flowers are already what the books have in common, and I needed to switch up the key to something else, otherwise they would have been way too similar. So I looked up so many stock images of swords and daggers, and I hated all of them, whether they were illustrated or photographs. None of them were exactly what I was looking for. This is where like I don't have experience in book cover design, so I don't know what I was looking for. So instead, I just stole pieces of other daggers and swords from other book covers, and it turned out to look exactly the way that I wanted. I changed the colors to be something that looked like cohesive to me. I don't think this is perfect, but I really liked the handle of this one. Made the size fit, and then added a bunch more detail to the background. So more vines dropping down. I found some fire images that I think are really similar to the first cover, and I just changed them to be, though I know it doesn't make sense to have purple flames, like yeah, some can be blue. This doesn't make a lot of sense as a fire image, but that's just what I decided on. And then I thought, let's set the dagger on fire too. So it doesn't look quite as good as the key on fire, but I did my best with what I had. And then as the final touch, I needed to find a quote, something that represented the book in some way. I didn't want to use the word secret, so I thought I would look up quotes with the word hidden, because that's kind of secret. I found one that said, "Sometimes what you hide controls you." And then I added most onto the end because I needed the phrase to be a little bit longer to fit. And that's what I've got for Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco. I think this is the one that's going to be revealed the soonest, so we'll see how I did. I was just sitting here getting ready and I paused for a second and scrolled Goodreads, and I saw the cover of Throne of Secrets. Good thing on Goodreads it's really tiny, so I didn't see too much, but I saw that it was blue. So let's take a look. Oh wow. Okay, first of all, it's so detailed. Those are dragons. Okay, I'm glad that I went away from the key, because if it was the key, I would have been mad at myself. So I went more purple, this went more blue. I really like it. It is the flowers, okay? I went with flowers, it's flowers. The title is gold though. I should have thought like something that would be better to contrast it would be to bring in the gold from the first one. This is why people get paid the big bucks for these designs. It is like, hey, glittery, starry, sprinkly stuff still, just like the first one in blue. I guess let's look at them side by side. Like obviously, okay, mine is uglier. Obviously, I'm not gonna say that over and over again. I'm establishing it, like, duh. I need to remind myself it's always conceptual. Like, I'm not putting days into these. The dragons are so cool. Love is the most dangerous adventure of all, is what it says. So there is a theme with that from book 1 to book 2. It was deception is the most wicked game of all, and then love is the most dangerous adventure of all. So now I'll have to design book 3 and figure out what quote is going to be on that third one. This is such a cool design. Like, it has so much depth to it. I like it more than the first one. It just looks a little more epic, and I like the symmetry of it. I don't even know how you come up with an idea like this. Like, this is so impressive. Okay. Yeah, that's that. And moving on to the last one, The Wedding Witch. This one I think originally was supposed to come out in 2023, but it got bumped, and it got bumped to pretty late in the year. And the synopsis says something about taking place during Yuletide. This series is published by Avon. Also, I just learned Erin Sterling is Rachel Hawkins. So first we'll just figure out the title and the font, because that needs to be tossed up right in the middle and we already know what it's going to be called. And we can figure there's going to be a moon on it, so that goes in there too. And then the details that we need are based on the synopsis. Bowen Penhallow has always been a loner studying dark and ancient magic on a mountaintop in Wales. His friend Colin, who happens to be a ghost, asks him to attend a Yuletide wedding at a grand estate deep in the Welsh countryside. And then we have Tamsin, who's not a witch, but makes a living off of them. She sells magical items. And they end up getting transported by accident into the house's past that they're staying at a Yuletide celebration in 1958. So I do think that pink makes sense, but now knowing that it's coming out in October and it's going to be kind of, it feels kind of like a Christmassy romance now, I want to make it pink and green, because red and green is just a little too on the nose, but pink and green could be cute. And then it's like Christmas adjacent, and we can just throw like a Yule log right on there. I originally wanted to put the girl in a wedding dress, but I guess she's not actually the one getting married. So we'll have to imply a wedding in some other way. I did another cover where there was a, what do you call it? Like an arch. We could also do wedding rings. Like, what else implies marriage? We could put her in a wedding dress. I mean, that would be kind of easy. Of course, I always like to look up who designed the cover, and this designer does so much work and none of it is similar at all. She has such an incredible range. So this didn't give me any idea of what the future one will look like. I just have to go based off of like what has been designed before for this series. And then as far as the people together, I want them to be closer than the others, because we just have an inkling of romance in the other ones. I wanted them to really be hands-on. So I took these books as examples and I copied over the body language. I copied the dress from this one. His hands are on her. I don't know anything about these characters, so I'm just doing things that are a little bit different from the other two covers. But I kept the general style of the guys. Basic pants and a collared shirt or a basic shirt. The girls are in form-fitting outfits. Also, everyone's wearing boots. I don't know if I want to, I don't think that would probably look weird with her dress because I've committed to the dress. We've already got a brunette kind of blonde character and a redhead. So I gave this one black hair just to be different. And then when I popped it in this big, I thought it looked really good. And I kind of just want to leave it like here, taking up the entire cover. But I have to make it tiny. So to match the other two, these people have to be really small. Then I need to figure out a specific detail. The first one has these street lights and this, what's it called? Oh my God, I almost said gonzola. Gazebo, it has a gazebo. And the second one has a cat. So I figured let me just look for something that is wintry or festive. I was thinking a snow globe would be cute, but there is already the big round moon. So that would be too much roundness. I was looking at all of these things like skates and toques and mittens. And then when I was looking at this like swirly tree shape, I thought, oh my gosh, you know what they need to be? They need to be in a swirl of light. But first, I found what I thought was perfect, which was mistletoe. It's subtle, but it's seasonal, and I can make the colors go really well with it. So that is what I committed to. And then on to me figuring out the swirl. I didn't know if, because with the other covers, again, there's something cohesive about the first one having this swirl around the whole thing. The second one has shoots of like lightning, and this one needed to have something that goes around the entire cover. So I thought this swirl would be fun. And then I couldn't really make it cute, so I found again some stock imagery that worked better for me. This one's like full of glitter and really cute. I had to finagle it quite a bit to go around them and make it look like it was behind them and in front of them, and they were really inside of the swirly twirl. And because nothing else on the cover was really giving witch, I thought this would do that. Then I accidentally deleted the layer of the moon, and I thought, oh my God, it looks so much better without the moon behind them because you can actually see the glitter. So now I'm rearranging the entire cover. Do I want the moon over here? Do I want the moon down here? And I figured I'd put it down on the left bottom hand side and just move the mistletoe up. Next, something that is present on all of the covers is these little star shapes. So I just copied them over and put them on here. I had to add the words "a novel." I'm pretty sure I have the exact same font featured on the other covers, so that was a win. And then I was thinking, what is giving time travel vibes? Because that's something that I want this cover to elicit. So you know going into it, these people are going into the past. Do I want it to have like a historical reference? And then I came up with, instead of the mistletoe, what about an hourglass? Because a lot of books have like clocks or hourglass type imagery to indicate that they're time travel related. And here are my final two options. Either it's gonna lean Christmassy with the mistletoe or time travel with the hourglass. I like them both equally and I will not choose. It is April 11th. I just finished the X-Hex and I wanted to see if I would get any more information about the characters before the cover reveal of the third. And I did. We met those characters very briefly, but they were in here. So we met Tamsin, and she like runs a witchy shop, and we have two witches here. And it described her as having, it said the woman was young, probably Vivi, that's our main character in here's own age, and had dark hair caught back from her face with a pair of combs. So I went with the dark hair, and the only other description was that she was wearing jeans. That's all we got about her. And the other character, oh, there it is, Bowen, is actually the brother of Reese. So he is the witch in the third book. And I wonder if I just missed where it said their last name in the synopsis. So, oh my God, the cover. Wait, when did the cover come out? Okay, first, oh shit, okay. Oh my God, I needed to, okay, the only thing it really said about him, Bowen, is that he had a beard. So basically I'm making him look just like Reese, which he kind of already did anyway, with a beard. So watch me add a beard, okay? Now let's look at the cover. Oh, this is so immediate. I can't believe it. Okay, first of all, it's green. I'm gonna click on it and make it big. The fact that I got this on camera, me seeing it for the first time, what are the odds? Okay, it has glittery, sparkly gold. Hey, the people are not in the moon, first of all. Well, that was second of all, or third of all. The man, there's his beard. He also has a man bun. She has much longer hair than what I created. Also, oh, I was gonna say this. They are wearing boots. Or no, I think I did say that when I was designing it, is that like I wanted to put them in boots because for some reason boots mean witch. So I should have done that. But she is wearing She is dressed better for the winter. Leggings. Why couldn't I have just added leggings? She's wearing a corally red dress, so not my pink, but not totally red. Wait, they have a squirrel. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Why didn't I notice that? Wait, that's so crazy. No, because I'm actually, what? Was that just an obvious thing that I did? Wait, I took them out of the moon and I put them in a swirl and they're not in the moon and they have a swirl. When was this revealed? Somebody tell me. Why is my heart racing? Oh yeah, it's not even on the author's Instagram. Where has it been announced? Who is the publisher? I have no idea. The library has ruined that for me. Sorry, I'll get back to it in a second. Okay, HarperCollins. I'm not gonna be able to find, like, they have so many Instagrams. Like, am I the first person ever seeing it? Did it just go up on Goodreads today? Okay, it's literally not even on Instagram. It is nowhere. No one has posted this. Anyway, she did do, or whoever the designer of this is, did do Christmas trees, which I love. That's beautiful. It wasn't an hourglass or mistletoe. I really like the Castle Kingdom thing up in the moon. I definitely should have spent more time making the W's fancy. I ended up leaving them. My only critique is the stars that are on every other cover are not present here, so I did not get that correct. They're more glittery stars. There's little gates beside them. They're in the center, which is different than the other covers. His pants are bright green and I like it. I know it looks really different, but I feel like this might be one of the closest ones that I've ever done. Especially because, hold on, she's like tilted back and he's like leaning in too. Her hand is even like up on his body. Wait, that's crazy. I definitely shouldn't have put her in like a wedding dress-esque thing. Like, this was the more correct outfits for them that make sense. I feel really powerful. And that is it for my cover reveal video this time around. I had to film an intro because you might have noticed I edited this in a different way than I typically do. Usually I have all of the cover designs at the beginning and then I do all the reactions at the end. But sometimes I get comments from people who are like, the cover already came out for this. Like, didn't you see the cover of this? Why are you designing it? Because I think they didn't make it all the way to the end, which is fine because like it's a commitment. So I spliced in the reactions in amongst the design, and I would love to know which one you prefer if you care at all, because next time I'll figure out how to organize it. If I knew I was going to edit it that way going in, I would have actually designed them in order. Well, I couldn't have designed them in order of which came out first because I didn't know which one was going to be revealed first. But I would have not said, this is the first one, now I'm going to design the second one, and finally this one. So then I could have edited it in any order that I needed to make it make sense. Does any of that make sense? If you care, let me know your opinions. And otherwise, thanks so much for watching the entire thing, getting to the end. I love you a lot as a friend, and I'll see you later. Bye!